Okay, I lost the picture now because I tried to mouse it on my monitor. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we have that up. I can't tell, but... I think we're live. Okay. All right, I'll try it. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. And good evening, everybody. From Eddie's Lightning Strikes Bowl, I'm Larry Lickstein. We are watching the Audi League, week 25. We usually are on Facebook. We've lost that connection. So we did go to YouTube tonight. And tomorrow, hopefully, we'll find out what the technical issues were. This is a 50-lane bowling center here at Lightning Strikes. Normally, when we run the league, we have camera setups on 5 through 20 and 21 to 34 and 35 to lane 50. We also have a front camera setup, which is not working either. So again, we are on YouTube this evening. This is a Audi of Fort Myers League in week 25. I'd like to thank you all for joining us. If any of you are watching, that would be great. Tomorrow night, I'm sure we will be back on Facebook. This league is in its 6th year here at Robert Eddie's Lightning Strikes Bowl in Fort Myers, Florida. We live stream every Tuesday for this league. Every Wednesday is the Oaks Farms League presented by Charlie's Irrigation and Joe Poe Grips. And Saturday and Sundays we have our regular tournaments here at 1:15. Again, great to be back this evening. YouTubing for the first time that I can recall in a few years. Little Facebook issue, and I'm sure by tomorrow night we'll have it straightened out for all of you. Audi of Fort Myers adding $5,000 in prize money to this league, and every even week, starting at week 4, the high bowler, men and women with handicap, win Audi usages for 2 days with a full tank of gas. So last week we had 2 winners. We'll have 2 winners next week. David Forbes, the general manager of Audi, a avid league bowler in his life, also sponsors the PBA 50 here at Lightning Strikes, along with Robert Eddy, our owner, and many different tournaments in Southwest Florida. They have a beautiful showroom right off the airport exit on Daniels Parkway, and what a beautiful, beautiful showroom it is. Our bowlers love this league. We have been full now for 6 years, 48 lanes of 50. Again, like I said, normally we are on the Lightning Strikes Facebook page, but tonight we ran into some technical issues, and we will be back tomorrow night on Facebook here at Lightning Strikes. Keith Cross with high average in this league at about 246 going into this evening. This setup that where you see our cameras was put in 7 years ago, and we've been running tournaments here every weekend. We can also go close up and watch the bowlers like this on every pair in the house except for 1 through 4. So as you can see, if we find a large string here, 7, 8 in a row, we can go close up. We have several of our local sponsors with their logos up. Paradise Vintage Market in North Fort Myers, right on 41. And Oaks Farms, a major grower here in Florida, supplying roughly 2,000 public supermarkets up the east coast of Delaware with fresh food. Again, a little change tonight. Normally we're live streaming on Facebook on our page. Over 500 shows in the last 32 months, but tonight we had to go to YouTube to keep the show on. We have some work to do tomorrow to get back on Facebook, so we want to thank all of you. If you are watching tonight, thank you for joining us here at Robert Eddie's Lightning Strikes Bowl in Fort Myers. Tomorrow night will be the Oaks Farms League presented by Charlie's Irrigation and Joe Poe Grips. Again, I want to thank Wayne Toplin for at least getting me up on Facebook tonight, does the IT work here. Southwest Florida support. Sort of a strange start tonight. Did not expect this. But the show must go on. That's what we do here. Again, we live stream 4 days a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday here. Approximately last year, we did about 203 shows out of a potential 208. We had about 5 days where we didn't stream because of holidays. Easter Sunday, I believe, was one of them, and 4th of July was one of them. But all in all, we try to be on every Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday here from chilly Southwest Florida. Temperatures we are not used to. A few days ago, below freezing across the state. Most of us in shock from it. Never seen anything like it since I've lived here 27 years. looks like we've got a few visitors on. Thank you so much. Again, folks, normally we are on the Lightning Strikes Facebook page. We had some technical issues. We will be back tomorrow night. So Wayne, our IT man, decided to get us up on YouTube. I'm Larry Lichtenstein. I've been hosting this show now since July of 2023, and from August of 2019 to May of 2021, our owner, Robert Eddy, an avid bowler, has put 18 cameras in this facility. So we live stream all of our tournaments, our major sponsored leagues, the Oaks Farms League and the Audi League, two wonderful businesses here in Southwest Florida. Oaks Farms with 10,000 growing acres, and Seed to Table, which is the most unbelievable supermarket I've ever seen in my life. It's so unique. It's got a mezzanine, live music, very popular facility here in Southwest Florida, and of course Audi, a world-renowned brand. And many of our local sponsors have now joined our two major brands, about 10 local sponsors now. Tailored Tailwaggers, Brightview Financial, RPM, the pro shop owned by Ricky Ward, Joe Poe, owned by Jerry and Marion Pinksa, are sponsors here as well. Charlie's Irrigation, Paradise Vintage Market, all sponsoring here at Lightning Strikes. A lot of added money, great league sponsors, great leagues. We're full 5 nights a week, tournaments on weekends. Our owner, an avid bowler, and this is a great opportunity for a retired gentleman like myself to be able to do this with all of you. It's changed my life. I love it. Usually we get about 1,500 to 2,000 views a night on our normal live stream on Facebook. A few weeks ago in the Jerry McElanic Bracket Buster, we had 11,000 views for the weekend, 5 on Saturday and 11 on Sunday. So we have a great audience. We have a lot of people getting on our live chat. I'm going to post something now on my Facebook page that we will be on tomorrow night. Lightning Strikes, a very high-scoring house in the last several years. Matt McNeil led the nation here 2 years ago, averaging 253.75. McNeil moving here from Minnesota about 5 years ago. Also, there's a lot of great bowlers that bowl in this house. John Rakoski bowls here. He was the senior Masters champion last year, recovering now with a finger issue. The great David Stouffer bowling here tomorrow evening. McNeil should be here in the Oaks Farms League tomorrow night. There is 5 Eagle winners bowling in our league. Al Hultizer, 92 team event out of Reading, Pennsylvania. John Huff, team all events, 1994, formerly out of Syracuse. Paul Zulte started the league out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin, 1997 doubles winner. John Rakowski and Matt McNeil, 2023 team event winner. And myself, who actually won Eagles so long ago that people don't even remember the name, Richard Nixon, because he was president when I won. And balls were rubber and lanes were wood, and there was no such thing as live streaming or the internet. So on a given evening in here, including McNeil's 5 Eagles and my 2, there's about 12 USBC Eagles in this house in the Oaks Farms League, and we are so proud of that. Many of us reminisce about our championships and what it meant to us in our lives. Of course, in my case, at the age of 19 and 20, when I won my Eagles, just starting out my professional career, and those meant so much to me, they always will. And of course, Ricky Ward, the owner of our pro shop here, a 6-time PBA titleist. He bowled 9 title matches in his professional career on the PBA Tour, won 6 of them, a 667 win percentage. And I, unfortunately, was 1-5. Got 6 title matches, but only 1 championship. Ricky, bowling great in his life, now our house pro, and owning RPM here with Chuck Rucker. So we are a bowler's house. Tournaments every weekend. Leagues every night of the week. A wonderful junior program Saturday with over 140 kids. And Sunday evening an adult child league with 85 bowlers in it. So we cater to league bowlers and tournament bowlers in this facility. That's Robert's business plan. We do have birthday parties. We've got a wonderful game room. Excellent senior leagues, a lot of snowbirds here bowling on Thursdays and Fridays here at Lightning. But the traditional, I say traditional, bowling center. Free fall, of course, and I'm sure as long as Robert Eddy owns this bowling center, we will be free fall. There are some string facilities locally that are owned by some prominent proprietors, but our owner prefers the free fall version of bowling. Now Davion Swiney on 23 coming up for 6 in a row, and Jerry Lake on 25 with 6 in a row. Right now this season, I would say we're somewhere around 50 300 games since the league season started. There are several local Hall of Famers at Bowling League here. Robert Hilton, David Stouffer, Ron Richards, Greg Lindsay, several more, John Rikoski. And they have all graced us with 300 games this year. What we try to do during the show, especially because this is a mixed league, is we try to feature the bowlers that obviously could put up honor scores. So I move around a lot, try to get as many people on the show as we can. But once I see large strings, we try to get down to those lanes and watch the possible 300s. We do have a couple of bowlers now that will be coming up with potential honor scores. Jerry Lake right here, and Davion Swiney on the next pair over. So we will be juggling the cameras. Okay, Jerry Lake coming up now on 25, and so 25 and 6 is normally our finals pair. That's why we have just one camera on this pair. If you'll notice, the pairs around it, we're showing two pairs. 25 and 6 is our finals pair for a lot of our step ladders. Jerry hit the dry a little quick there. I'm just going to get my front view up here for all of you. In the transition this evening, I missed a few cameras, so this is our front view on 25 and 6, and there's Jerry Lake shooting his spare. We're going to watch Terry Weiss, got a brand new ball tonight here at RPM. Ricky drilling it for her in the store, an avid league bowler. So she's going to start this way, and then we're going to show you what it looks like when we kick it around front. And there it is, hold it. Oh, okay, got 9, good. Again, an honor and privilege for me to be with all of you this evening.
Last call for mystery on lane 46. Last call for mystery game on lane 46.
And Larry Stella's on. Welcome aboard, Larry. I knew you'd find us. You know, it's interesting. I got a little caught off guard tonight. We did have a change with the Facebook and whatnot. I didn't catch it until it was a little too late. And tomorrow we'll be using my page, but we did want to get something up and going, so we're on YouTube, and which is fine. But normally we are just Facebook, and maybe starting tomorrow, we'll be using both. I'm going to talk to Wayne about it. He has asked me to do it in the past, and maybe now I think we're going to. That way, if we lose one, we always have the other. Just got to learn the setups and should be able to use both networks, which I guess we should do. Obviously, YouTube being worldwide, I don't know why we wouldn't, but we have not in recent years. But we're going to have a discussion tomorrow about it, and I think we're going to start using it. This way, at least we'll have one of them up if there is a technical issue. This facility over the years is, for those of you that don't know much about Lightning Strikes, was foreclosed on in 2019 and either going to be a car lot or torn down or both. But anyways, Robert Eddy and Avid Bowler purchased it in the beginning of April of 2019 and totally revitalized it with new scoring, a new roof, new settee, 2 new bars, new game room. Pro shop operated by the legend Ricky Ward, and then they got Oaks Farms and iRoof and Audi and several major companies locally to become sponsors here. Many more now have joined on. Paradise Vintage Market, Joe Poe out of Detroit, Brightview Financial, and several more will see their logos up. It is a very popular house. Tournaments every weekend, and all of us that work here are honored to be part of this wonderful facility owned by an avid bowler who did not let it go down the drain like most of them do. When they're closed, they don't come back. This one did, probably one of the few in the country. Installed 18 cameras, live streaming every weekend, live streaming for these 2 leagues tomorrow evening, Oaks Farms tonight, Audi. And many of these sponsors bowl here. Brian Copeland, the owner of Paradise Vintage Market. John Pfister, the owner of Brightview Financial. Ricky Ward, the Pro Shop. And for me working here now all these years, I must say, considering I was retired, it's been wonderful. It's something I never dreamed of in my life. It's an honor to be live streaming bowling. I learned how to bowl in November of 1960. When I was 11, I threw my first ball and turned pro January of '68. And it's been my life since before I was a teenager. I loved bowling. Watched it on TV in the 50s. And somehow ended up here doing this, and I am blessed. There's no doubt about it. It's divine intervention to do this at my age and really have a wonderful audience of friends coming on my live stream weekly and daily. Usually a couple of hundred comments, usually 1,500 to 2,000 views per evening. We did have a month last May of 2025. The views for 16 shows in a month were over 50,000 views. So we do bring in a great audience of friends, avid bowlers, a lot of PBA members that I've known in my life. I worked out on tour and was on the tour for 27 years, so a lot of my friends will get on, say some kind words. A lot of Robert Eddy's friends will get on at Boldy Senior Tour here. Ed Duda, bowling on 23 and 4 tonight, is also one of our sponsors who has put up a lot of money for Charlie's Irrigation and sponsored Jerry Michelanic's Bracket Busters, TJ Williams' events, and we want to thank Eddie, formerly out of New Jersey. He put up $5,000 for this league. Unbelievable. Ted Ringling says I'm famous now. Well, Ted, thank you for that. I often wonder about the word famous. I might put an IN in front of it. Of course, in my day and age, when I joined the tour in 1969, the announcers were Billy Waylew and Chris Schenkel. And then in 1975, when Billy passed on, it became Nelson Burton and Chris Schenkel. And then 98 and 9, it was Marshall Holman. And then Randy Peterson came aboard with several network announcers, and now with the CW network coming aboard, we have a completely new announcing team. I believe Kyle Sherman is going to be, he's in negotiation. He's a young man out of St. Louis, a PBA champion, a wonderful young man. I had a chance to know him when I was working in Morgantown with Amanda Green. Kyle Sherman is a wonderful young man. I was really happy that CW hopefully will bring him in with the new color man who was with NASCAR. So it looks like a completely new team will be on the CW network in about a month when they air their first show. And quite frankly, I'm really looking forward to that, being that in my life, I watched live the PBA's very first show from Paramus in 1961. It was a pilot for the upcoming 62 season where Roy Lown beat Rich Robinette for the $15,000 first prize in the Paramus Invitational, which was big money back in October of 61. And then, of course, in January of 62, the Pro Bowlers Tour telecast started with Carmen Salvino winning in Empire Lanes in the Albany area with Chris Schenkel and Billy Waylew, who were very good friends of mine. I loved both of them dearly. And I will never forget watching them as a young boy and then finally making a few telecasts, where my first show that I made was a regional event at Garden City Bowl in Long Island, where Don Dunphy did the announcing with Bill Bianetta. Don Dunphy was the head of Madison Square Garden Boxing, and Don Dunphy did all the Joe Louis fights, Rocky Marciano fights, Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, many of the Garden fights, legendary boxers, Archie Moore, Carmen Basilio, Gene Fulmer, and the legend Sugar Ray Robinson, who many people to this day say was the greatest boxer that ever lived. He did my first show. My second show was Billy Waylew and Bud Palmer. Chris Schenkel got snowed in that weekend. That show was February 6th, 1971 in the San Jose Open, the only tournament in PBA history where all 16 finalists were left-handed. Earl Anthony was on the telecast, Petraglia, Davis, myself, and Ski Koremski. I've had mixed emotions about that show my whole life. I would rather have made a show with several of my other top fives, but that was the tournament I won. I've often said I wish there was a different one because of the fact that all the top 16 were left-handed. It's never happened again. It never will. It was embarrassing. I remember that night when match play started. All of us were in shock from it. We did not want that. None of us did. Anthony was in that finals. Davis, Petraglia, Koremski, Don Glover, all champions. Butch Gerhardt. They were great bowlers. We did not need that. But it did happen, and the anniversary of it is this week, starting today. And Friday is the 6th, which was Saturday in 1971. Many of the bowlers in that finals have passed on, but Johnny and I are still alive, and we do talk about it. Of course, Johnny that winter won in Winston-Salem and then won the last 3 PBA events of the winter tour. So Petraglia won 4, I won 1, and Earl Anthony won 1. So 6 left-handed winners that winter in 13 events, which eventually led the PBA to start having lane maintenance. That was the last winter in bowling history that did not have PBA lane maintenance. Every winter after that, starting in '72, the PBA had its own lane maintenance team. Gentleman that I had a chance to work with later in my life as the player service director of the tour. Len Nicholson was on that team, Sam Baca. Len Nicholson, of course, does Phantom Radio. In my mind, the greatest lane man that ever lived. A pioneer in the sport of bowling. Len Nicholson, now 85 years old. Still has Phantom Radio once a week. I've had some career, but this part of it here at Lightning has been probably the most different because I never planned anything like this. I wanted to be a pro bowler. I wanted to be the tour's player service director and drill balls on tour. You know, I did that from 75 to 96. Founded the first rolling pro shop in bowling history. Traveled the United States for 22 years with a drill press, 18-wheelers, and an inventory of new equipment. This is one I never dreamed of, to live stream in a local center. It has been wonderful. Made a lot of friends online, a lot of regulars that have become very close to me. And of course tonight on YouTube's a little different, but I think tomorrow night we'll be on YouTube and Facebook once Wayne Toplin and I could sit down and get it up and going. Got caught a little off guard tonight, but we're with you. Tomorrow night we will be on Facebook again. Chrissy Stewart on 17 and 18, averaging 230 in this league. That is a number. Get a bowl of fries with cheese.
Side of fries.
Yeah, fries and cheese. Yeah. And watching Chrissy Stewart, keep this in mind, she was the 1995 PWBA Rookie of the Year. So for the last 30 years, she has led this association in average on the ladies' side. And now a grandmother and averaging 230 again. This is not new for her. She's done it many years. Very seldom will she miss the pocket. Has lost some revolutions because of arthritis, but the accuracy is fantastic. Just a great shot maker over and over and over. You can just see it. A little high there, of course. You got the Litchi kiss. That's called the Litchi kiss. When I give him the big build up and say she's never missed a pocket, well, there you go. She'll miss the pocket. 243 in game one. Wayne Bowen is on. Welcome aboard, Wayne. I want to thank you all. A little bit of a different setup tonight, of course, with YouTube, but that's okay. If it's the worst thing that happens to me, I'll be the luckiest person that ever lived. And when Kyle Sherman is officially announced, I'm going to post some pictures of me and Kyle and Brad at the 2022 Tournament of Champions in Akron. I was a guest speaker of the PBA at the Hall of Fame induction night. It's the last time I've been to a PBA event. And I took a real nice picture with Brad and Kyle, who had just started doing all of their YouTube videos. Little did I think that night, I must say this, and that was in April of, February of 2022, just about 4 years ago. Little did I think that night that 4 years later he would become the announcer on the new network, CW. But when it was announced, I was thrilled. I've known Randy, since he started the tour in 1980. Of course, is very good friends with Mike Durbin and Nelson Burton, and they were all very close to me. Of course, I didn't know Kyle from the tour, but I knew him from Morgantown when he would visit there to visit Amanda Green, who he was dating, and got to know him very well and really liked him. Just a fine, fine young man. And now it looks like he's going to be doing the PBA telecast. And for me personally, my own opinion is he's going to be wonderful. He's got a great personality. He knows the game of bowling. People are going to love him. He's a handsome young man. And I can't wait to see him live on the CW network. Of course, as a kid, we grew up with Tom Brookshire and Ray Scott in the NFL games in the 60s. And of course, the great Pat Summerall and John Madden, Bob Trumpy, Kurt Gowdy were all the great announcers of football when I was growing up. And now, so many new football announcers now in the NFL. And bowling, not that many, because, we only had 16 telecasts in the winter and then maybe 14 in the summer. Of course, Earl and Jay were very close to me. Earl and Jay Randolph, I thought, were wonderful. I loved Mike Durbin and Denny Schreiner. They were wonderful. So another new team coming in the world of bowling. Oh, I see the chat, Wayne. The chat's up. You did a great job, Wayne. Thank you so much, Wayne. On real short notice. I mean, we're up and running, and that's a good thing. I'm sure that we can clean up some things tomorrow. Yeah, but I got chat. We're all right. I mean, considering how fast that was. Normally I'll call Wayne with what I call minor issues, and all of a sudden tonight, major issue. But he did it as usual. Yeah, we got some people on. That's all that counts, as long as we're up and running. I'd rather be that than on the way home. I mean, I come in here to work on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and luckily we're up. Yeah, the picture looks good on YouTube, Wayne. It might have been something we had not. Well, I know we had considered YouTube last year. You wanted me to do it, and I never hooked up both. But now that we went through this tonight, I think we ought to be doing both. We're just going to have more views. Why not? First, I'll get used to talking to a new audience, my Facebook audience, many of which are my friends on Facebook. YouTube's a little different, but the more the merrier. And for those of you on Facebook or YouTube with us, I think we are the only bowling center in the United States that's live streaming normal leagues Tuesday, Wednesday, and tournaments every Saturday and every Sunday for the year. There are 18 cameras set up across the center, including this one here, which I really like, the front view. And I want to thank Wayne Toplin for all the work he's done here for all of us, getting these cameras up and going. We hadn't used the front view in a while. Nice and clear, it looks great. And that's the front. And here's the rear, and there's Jerry. Good with that, Wayne. I love it. Probably should have done this in the beginning, like you said. I think after tonight, it's a no-brainer now. I think we got to do it. Well, I'm pretty lucky to have that, Wayne. Sometimes I wonder, you know, I'm probably the only USBC and PBA Hall of Famer live streaming, and again, that's because of Robert Eddy's doing this along with you and getting it up and going. And like I've told everybody, it's an honor late in my life that I cherish. Very fortunate. And I know our local bowlers and our viewers love it because it's bowling at its best. It's leagues and tournaments. These are serious bowlers, even though many of them are lower averages. They are here day after day, week after week, bowling senior leagues, regular leagues, tournaments on weekends. And we have an enormous tournament following here. Get about 100 entries every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, about 50 and 50. We live stream them. And the Florida State Women's event will be here in May. I will be live streaming the USBC Florida State event on 3 weekends in May here at Lightning. I was just talking to Bobby Taylor, the state director of the USBC, who happens to bowl here. So we will be covering the ladies' state, something that we love when they come to Lightning Strikes. And of course, Chrissy Stewart in this league, a member of the USBC State Hall of Fame. Dave Covington, a USBC State Hall of Famer. Bowls tomorrow night with Chrissy.
Next time your first game, mystery. Mystery worth $210. First number, 243. I see a hand wave. Chrissy Stewart with 243 wins $210.
Wow, Chrissy Stewart winning the mystery pot tonight. I've had the front view on you twice.
What's that?
I have had the front camera on you and the rear camera on you twice. We just got the front one working last week. We didn't use it for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Chrissy, can I borrow 100? I'll pay you when my hair grows back.
Right? Well, I six counted split the fill ball. That
To
was-
win it?
Yeah.
No way. She got a 6 count on the fill ball to win the mystery. How does that happen?
That's amazing.
She needed 243. She got 6 to get to 243. Yes, David Covington, as Wayne said, 3 Hall of Fames. Miami, Southwest Florida, and State of Florida. And boy, I'll tell you what, when you start to get into those 3 and 4 numbers and 5 numbers, that's quite a career. But for all of you, I'm going to give you a stat that's from another world. Johnny Petraglia is in 9 Hall of Fames. And Johnny and I have been best of friends for this July. I met him 60 years ago in 1966. But I asked John about his inductions many times. And in the Italian American Sports Hall of Fame. His presenter was Bart Giamatti, who was the commissioner of baseball when he got in '98. And in the audience that night, because it was Italian American, right, was Joe DiMaggio, Yogi Berra, Jake LaMotta, and Phil Rizzuto. So Johnny Petraglia gets inducted in front of Joe DiMaggio. Now, you got by the commissioner of baseball. Well, let me tell you something. Just think of what I just said for a minute. You might not ever hear that again. That a bowler was inducted by the commissioner of baseball, and Joe DiMaggio was watching Johnny accept the honor that night with Yogi. Oh my God. How is that even? You couldn't dream it. So every time John and I talk about it, he starts giggling like a little kid at Christmas, and I giggle with him. And we like start high-fiving and laughing because bowlers don't have that one happen. Bowlers don't get into the Hall of Fame with legends like that anymore. So every time I see JP, I bring up that night because I want him to laugh, and he does. And bear with me, I'll be right back. Speaking of Petraglia, a lot of people don't know that when the movie Greedy was produced with Michael J. Fox and Kirk Douglas, Michael J. had never bowled before, so the production team got a hold of Petraglia to coach Michael J. Fox. And in 1994 at Carolier Lanes, Michael J. Fox was there and bowled in the Celebrity Pro-Am. And before the Pro-Am, he was in the owner's office with Petraglia and Lee Livingston, who was the owner of Carolier Lanes at that time. Now it's a Bolero house. And my then wife Kathleen and I met Michael J. I have pictures of that evening some 32 years ago. And what an honor it was to meet him, knowing he was going to start a bowling movie, or had bowling as a theme in the movie. The movie was called Greedy. Keep in mind, tomorrow night, the best bowlers of this region bowl the Audi League presented by Charlie's Irrigation and Joe Poe. At least 3 bowlers in the league averaging over 240. David Stouffer, Keith Cross, and Jake Miller. Last week, Brad Stewart took the lead in the league with high 3 games of 838, going 279, 280, 279. And last night in league, Brad Stewart had 794 with 300. So his last 6 games in league, he went 432 over for 6. Which is about a 271 average for his last 6 games, including 2 279s, a 280, and a 300. So he's on a roll, obviously. He'll be in here tomorrow night. We will have an interview with him. And Brad Stewart has an interesting history in Southwest Florida. He's the son of Chrissy Stewart, so, you know, he's been a bowler since he could start walking. He's also bowled for money in 3 game matches in this bowling center. Don Barrett, Chris Barnes, and Rhino Page. And you might say, well, big deal. Well, there's one statistic that they have, is that every one of them won the Tournament of Champions. He's bowled 3 Tournament of Champions winners in this house. And we live streamed all the matches. So great to see him bowling well. Now, Keith Cross is bowling down the 1, 2, 3, or 4 tonight, so I think, unless I could find him, he is leading the league in average in the high 240s. bowling tonight with his wife. Tomorrow night he's also leading the league, so he's leading here Tuesday and Wednesday night, both leagues, with composite average of somewhere right around 245, which is a big number. And this is the third or fourth year in a row where he has dominated the league scene here, along with David Stouffer and Matt McNeil. Those three bowlers have posted some fantastic league averages here in the last 3 seasons. McNeil with 243, and then backed up with Stouffer's 253, and then Stouffer 249, and now Cross 246. So the three of them have really put on a show here, and rightfully so. They are great bowlers. They are avid. They're three of them all bowling, since they were young kids, junior leagues, etc. Now, Daniel Gacera right here on 45 and 6 just won a big tournament this past weekend up in Tampa and beat some very good bowlers, beat some fantastic bowlers from the Tampa area. Beat John Janowitz this weekend, and several more big guns I was reading on Facebook. Daniel is a pro shop owner here in Fort Myers. So he's on a bit of a roll this past weekend, bowling with Dustin Valentin and Keith Cross right here. Dustin Valentin, formerly out of Las Vegas. Again, we want to thank all of you for the kind words on the live chat this evening. And again, it's our first show that I could recall where we did strictly YouTube. Normally it's Facebook, the Lightning Strikes account. Tomorrow we will be on that again. But I must say to all of you, it's been an honor this year. And great to be on YouTube tonight. I'm going to watch Gacera here. Watch him bump his arm swing at the top and then realign out there and right there by the ankle. See that? And ho! And he tripped the forepin and says, oh my God, I bowled blind. We've had a few of those in recent weeks where somebody cannot believe they threw it that bad and struck. But my philosophy is, how about the good ones that didn't strike, like these solid 8s, solid 10s, solid 7s? So there is forgiveness out there with a house shot. We all know that. But there's also times you can bowl great, hit the pocket, and shoot 2-teen, where you hit the pocket 10 times in a row and got nothing. So it goes both ways.
I got a ton going.
You know, today I put a picture of my kitty up, Papla, who I found behind suburban lanes in Morgantown in October of 2017 as a little kitty running with a chicken wing in her mouth on a cold 30-degree morning and starving and cold in a super busy parking lot. And I knew she didn't have long for this world. I tried to catch her, I couldn't. It took me 2 weeks. Every once in a while I'd see her, but she'd run away. A friend of mine had a possum trap, and I set the possum trap up behind my RV with a can of food. And one morning I left to go out, and when I came back, she was in there eating. And I jumped out of that car and slammed that trap closed. She went crazy when I caught her. I put her in the motorhome, and she immediately hid under the dashboard for 2 weeks. I was also living out in Pennsylvania in a big trailer, so I had a motorhome and a trailer. The motorhome was heated, and a nice one, and with a bathroom and everything I needed. So I got kitty litter and put her out there, and one night I slept in it rather than drive 17 miles back to Pennsylvania. And I woke up the next morning and she was next to me. And I looked at her and picked her up, gave her a hug. And I have 3 rescued cats. One walked into a Circle K one morning when I was having a cup of coffee and hid under the newspaper rack. And he was teeny. He was a little kitty. And the girl at the desk said he'd been hanging around there for 3 days. He was dirty. I could see that he was lonely. And I picked him up, and he was beautiful, and I grabbed him. And then the last one, 4 years ago in Wickiwatchee, a family abandoned the cat, moved and left the cat. And I had seen the cat wandering for 3 months. With long hair, all natted up, and just lost. And it was super hot out, and I'd see him laying underneath the car. I went near him, he'd run in the woods. And one day, I caught him. Brought him to the vet. He was healthy. So now I have the 3 of them, and they are lovers. They love to eat. They love it nice and warm and toasty. And they are my beautiful animals that I live alone, so they mean so much to me. I guess for all of us that love animals, when you rescue an animal, there's something more to it than going to a pet store. In my case, I was not shopping for a cat in any of those situations, but my heart got me. I couldn't stand it, knowing they had no food and no place to live, and it bothered me. And I lost 2, one in 2018 who was 10 years old, and one in 2026 who was 14, and I had rescued them, and I was distraught when they died. And so my last 5 cats I've rescued. I guess they're a lot luckier than people. I don't know too many people that got rescued that are out in the street. As crazy as that sounds, it seems like it's a lot easier to take care of a cat. You know, they don't cost any money, but a couple cans of food a day and some kitty litter every 3-4 days where you throw it out. They're pretty much self-sustaining. And Gacera now on 45-6, ladies and gentlemen, has the chance for perfection here. This is for 300. And again, he bowled real good this weekend. Shot about 980 for 4 games in a 4-gamer in Tampa. So evidently He's found something. And that's 300. All right, beautiful stroke there. And I'm glad I caught that one. I almost missed it. Very nice for Daniel. Wow, that ball was a lot of head belly on that one. That thing was out around the 4 board. That was a 20 out. Lay it down on 20 and throw it right. What a arc that was for Valentin right there. I want to see if he does that again. I mean, that was just way to the right. Much different there, and flush. Oh yeah, there's some room if you get on it. There's no doubt about it. If you can open them up and you've got the hand, it'll get back. Now, starting tomorrow, a very unique tournament in Las Vegas is starting. I believe at the Gold Coast. It's $50,000 guaranteed for first. And here's the payoff. It's a $750 entry fee. And I think they only got 35 bowlers to enter. And a guaranteed $50,000 for first. So, the way it works is there's several divisions, and you have to use the ball that was designed by Gary Beck, the promoter. It's a 1-ball tournament, and you have to drill 1 ball. Everybody throws the same ball. 1 ball. Period. The old game, like it was 70 years ago, 60 and 50 years ago. First place, $50,000. So you figure 40 entries times 7 is 28,000. He didn't get that. He got maybe 26 in entry fee. And he's guaranteeing 50. I don't know about second, third, or fourth, but if that's the case, it's costing him to run this event with payroll, live streaming, room and board, advertising, 50, 60,000 bare minimum. And he's only getting about 30 back, so he's going to take an enormous hit. But he did guarantee the money. I know Gary. I feel kind of bad that nobody wanted to enter that event, but interestingly enough, there's one superstar that entered it, and that's Anthony Simonson, who lives there. And he is automatically the favorite. I mean, the minute he enters, he's the favorite. So he's taking a shot at 50 grand for a $750 entry fee, but he lives there, so he's got no room and board to worry about. He's going to drill up 1 ball and throw it. And it's kind of interesting that he is a Storm staffer, and he is not going to be throwing a Storm ball. It's very unheard of in today's day and age, where most ball companies are not going to allow you to throw another brand. But in his case, I guess he got permission from ownership. But that's a unique, very unique scenario. We don't see any of that. Normally, if they're a Storm, they can throw Roto Grip or 900 Global, all made by Storm. And same with the Brunswick brands, like Rakoski can throw any of the Brunswick brands, DV8, Ebonite, Hammer, Columbia Track, Brunswick. course, Motive only has one label. So Simonson evidently got permission.
Feel like the other ball reaction better.
I'm going back to the new ball. I think I just have to do a better job.
I've often wondered about that scenario
Congratulations to David Becerra.
because he had been talking about doing that for quite a while, running this one ball event. And I remember thinking, well, what about the staff members? What are they going to do? Well, you got to figure of the 35 bowlers in that event, probably there are several that are on regional staffs of some sort, like you do get a contract and they give you a fair price and they do send you some balls for free, but you got to pay for some if you're on a regional staff. But if you're on a national tour staff, he's getting paid a lot of money to be on the Storm staff. He is a superstar. But in this tournament, he will not be using a Storm-made ball. So obviously he had to get permission from ownership, and evidently he did. So that's one of those interesting scenarios that pops into bowling every once in a while. It doesn't happen a lot, obviously very little, because most people don't run one ball tournaments and force you to all throw the same ball. That's basically unheard of. I wanted to back my son in that tournament, and I did mention to Michael that I think you ought to go out to bowl it, but he works and he doesn't like to leave his jobs. I have Mike Melendez with me now, who is sitting with me, and I've decided that after that great announcement you made this
Was it
evening,
good? Did it meet up to your standards?
come in closer.
Okay. I'm standing right now, just in case you guys want to know I am standing.
There's no doubt you want my job after that announcement.
No, I was you kept asking me, Michael, why are you always constantly here? And the truth of the matter is, I need to make sure I do a good presentation, so I'm taking notes from you. How you are on the mic.
I'm taking notes from you. You were so good on that mic that I said to myself, I want to take 2 weeks off this summer when the state bowl's here, and I'm going to suggest that you take the mic.
No, it's the big shoes to fill. The big shoes to fill. I don't have the good stories like you do.
Yeah, but I want a 2-week vacation, so you can take my place. But here's the deal.
Yeah, talk.
You got to give me 50 cents a word, and I'll let you owe me. I think you're going to go into debt.
Because I talk a lot. Yeah, I do talk a lot.
You were great on the microphone tonight. Excellent.
I appreciate that.
I mean that.
Much.
It was wonderful.
It's.
I think you should make all the presentations in here, and I'm not joking.
I was.
You were wonderful on the microphone.
Thank you.
Do you practice that? How'd you get like that?
It was by accident.
Just you.
Truth
Wow.
of the matter, really.
It was great.
Thank you. Tomorrow I have another one to do.
And now I'm a little concerned that you might take my job over, so I have to be very careful. I don't want to flatter you too much because you might be in the booth here.
No, look, you're making me blush.
Well, you're making me blush, but I might need you.
Have a good night, right?
All right, man. Mike Melendez, one of our USPC directors here, and he is a wonderful man. I love him. He's funny. He's also short, so he has to put up with the short jokes. But he's really good, and I like that. I like that he likes to promote the game by announcing the way he did. Good for him.
I go over there every year. Like 6 months. No, you go out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like 5 months.
Yeah.
I watch.
Are they also tenants or they're just friends?
We bought a house. We bought a house. I take care of his house.
Now we'll be starting game 3 here. You're all watching the Audi of Fort Myers League in its 6th year of competition here at Lightning Strike, sponsored by the local Audi showroom and car sales manager David Forbes. David Forbes with a beautiful, beautiful showroom, and when you walk in to the showroom, there's about $1 million on the floor. There's at least 2 or 3 cars in the $200,000 range on the floor, and it's a beautiful, beautiful building right on I-75 and the Daniels exit. And all of us here at Lightning Strikes really want to thank him for what he's done for our image here and this league, along with Brightview Financial, Joe Poe, Oaks Farms, RPM, Paradise Vintage, and Brightview Financial. All of them, thank you. Of course, we're very disappointed that the PBA Senior Tour will not be back here this year or at the Villages up in Central Florida. Again, the scheduling was not advantageous for us to wait till August. We didn't know if the Villages would be coming in the week before us. We did not want to be isolated and out of the way like that. And Robert kind of felt that without the May venue, which is where we've been 4 of the last 5 years, he really wanted to go in May, and they couldn't accommodate us. So right now, the Senior Tour only has, to the best of my knowledge, 3 signed up hosts. And I pray that's wrong. Again, I don't follow it every day, and obviously they might have added a few since what I looked at the other day, but we're all very concerned that, they're supposed to be about 14 to 16 this year, and I don't know why that is not the case. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that there are many tournaments scheduled that I missed. We certainly want that to continue. We obviously, all of us here with John Rakoski battling for Bowler of the Year the last 3 years, and John Janowitz winning it from Florida, Jason Couch from Florida, Walter Ray from Florida, Dan Knowlton from Florida, and Leno Monticelli, Andres Gomez. There is an unbelievable, and Tom Doherty, an unbelievable contingent of Florida bowlers on that tour. They have fans from all around the state. They've all bowled around our state, since their early years. And we're hoping those dates fill real soon. Because it takes months to promote those events and try to get your money back. If it's costing you $25,000 to have them come in and you're losing your daytime business, you've got to try and get it back in your pro-am and obviously by your gate. And it becomes a compromising investment if you don't know your dates, and you can start selling your pro-am. So we're hoping that some official dates can be put out there and that tour can start promoting those pro-am dates. Years ago when I was on tour, Harry Golden, our tournament director, legendary tournament director, told all of us that Pro-Am Day was Public Relations Day in the PBA. That if those people were paying to bowl with pros so the proprietor could recoup some of the money they were putting up for PBA prize money, it was the pros' job to put on a show for them, to be congenial, to shake hands, to do autographs, to coach them, and hopefully create a relationship with them. And many of us in that day would go out, shake hands, coach them, talk with them, sign autograph books, and pray the word would go out. And in my day and age, I saw the largest pro-ams in PBA history. Imperial Lanes in Toledo, Carolier Lanes in North Brunswick, New Jersey, and Sayville Bowl in Sayville, Long Island. Those three tournaments had 9,000 Pro-Am entries. You heard me right. 3,000 in each one of them. Bradley Bowl in Windsor Locks was up around 1,800. Garden City in Long Island before Sayville was between 1,500 and 2,000. And Milwaukee was at 1,500 to 2,000. So our proprietors got their money back from the Pro-Am. And back then it was costing them about $60,000 to have the tour come in. So they had to recoup that money from the Pro-Am and the gate receipts. And they did. So they had us come back every year. The promoters did very well. Some of them actually quit their jobs and became tournament promoters 51 weeks a year. And then the tour would come in for that 1 week, and they would make, $150,000 on that 1 week of action and give the PBA 60 or 70 of it, and they would make $75,000 for their promotional prowess for the year. And it was a good investment. Of course, nowadays, it's not the same. It's not ABC Sports. They don't have 36 tournaments a year in 36 cities. So it's not really the same. So we're really hoping that the senior tour can have a schedule and get some Pro-Am help. Guppy Troop was the king of Pro-Ams. He's going to be inducted into the PBA Hall of Fame this year at the Tournament Champions. Every Tuesday there would be 5 Pro-Am squads, and pros were required to bowl one of them. Part of your duty, if you were a touring pro, was you had to get signed up for one Pro-Am, but they always had room for more. So if you bowled a second Pro-Am, you'd make $25. The first one you had to bowl on your own as part of the PBA contract. So Earl Anthony would bowl once, or Weber would bowl once, or Roth would bowl once, But if they bowled again, they were entitled to get paid. So Guppy Troop would bowl every Pro-Am squad on Tuesday, 5 every Tuesday, and if there were special Pro-Ams on Sunday and Monday, he would bowl them. So there were weeks where Guppy bowled 7 or 8 Pro-Am squads and would make $200 a week from the Pro-Am squads, which would pay for his hotel bill, which was pretty smart. Also, because he was so colorful and loved everybody, he would sign autograph books all day long. And he combed his hair, with a pick, like Kyle does. And he wore these crazy outfits where they were designed by a tailor, where he had a red leg and an orange leg on his pants, or a green leg and a yellow leg. And the shirt would be just the opposite. So the bottom of the pants would be green and yellow, and the top of the shirt would be yellow and green. And he had blue and pinks, and orange and blue. And he had black and whites with pink lettering. And he was extremely noticeable. And this year they're going to honor him with the PBA Hall of Fame induction. And Guppy is 76. We're the same age, so he's waited many years for this, and I'm real happy for Guppy. He deserves it. He was a great showman, a great bowler, great public relations for the PBA. And in the southern region, which we are in, he won about 37 or 38 regionals. I mean, he was, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, he was a factor. And when I bowled the senior tour in 2000, he bowled it. And I had a chance to bowl him a few times in match play. And I wanted to beat him bad, because I never bowled him as a kid. I left the tour in 74. He wasn't out yet. So, yet I was there every week. So, I knew him as good as anybody. Well, when we bowled each other, it was fierce competition. He wanted me and I wanted him. It was just that way. And I remember the first time we bowled each other in match play in Seattle at Skyway Park Bowl. He beat me 250 to 240, and he snapped it off in the 10th with a double, and he ran him out. And I looked at him when we had to sign our score sheets and enter our scores, and I busted him pretty good, and he busted me back pretty good. And I said to him, I'll see you in the next week or two, and you won't get 2 in a row. And he laughed and I laughed. And we got each other again in Vegas, and I got him. And I looked at him and I said, I'm not as easy as you think, pal. And he looked at me and he said, I know that, Litchie, but you ain't going to beat me in the long run. And I said, I know. And we both laughed. And we bowled one more week against each other again in Brentwood, California, the following week. And he got me again. So we bowled each other, I think, 4 times in the summer of 2000. I'm sure it was 3-1. I don't think it was 2-2. I think I beat him once. He got me 3 times. And that was the end of it. We never bowled each other again. It was over. I did get him in a regional in Rocky Mount in May of 2000, and I beat him there. But that was not a national stop. That was a non-televised regional event. What a bowler that guy was. Unbelievable. Finished second in the U.S. Open to Mark Roth in '84. Needed a strike and left a 4-pin at Arena Bowl in Oak Lawn, Illinois, the '84 U.S. Open. So he did have a second in a major.
door will be closing soon.
Again, for all of you, thank you for joining us on YouTube this evening. Tomorrow night we will be on Facebook again and probably YouTube, as Wayne Toplin had suggested quite a few months ago that I do both, and I think tomorrow night we're going to try and get it so I can do both with all of you.
I'm not going to do this every week. Maybe I'm going to. My speed is so down in 10s. I need to be 12. Maybe I'm going too slow. Maybe my speed up. Well, because I'm going it so slow. But I'm going to try speeding up my mom. Trying everything.
You know, they had a picture of Harry Smith up on Facebook this week, and for those of you that don't know the name, he was a charter member of the PBA, and in the early 60s, it was Carter, Weber, and Smith were the best three in the world, with Ray Bluth next, and then maybe Salvino. But if you knew Smitty, he was by far one of the most outlandish characters in the history of professional bowling, and he became the PBA Tour's tournament director, assistant tournament director in 1977, while I was player service director. So I met Smitty in 1967 in my first event as a pro at the age of 18, and ended up working with him 10 years later for 10 years, from 77 to 87. And Smitty liked to have a toddy at night when competition was over, and he would be in the lounge with his best friends, Butch Soper, Roy Buckley, Sam Flanagan, John Denton, myself, Petraglia, Jim Godman, and several more touring players from that generation. Larry Lobb, Earl Anthony, and many times he would close the lounge. He liked to stay to the end, and every once in a while, the next morning was kind of tough for him, and especially in Las Vegas, because he wouldn't sleep at all. So he'd stay up all night, carousing at the bar at the Showboat, and then come to work the next morning at 7:30.
Time for your second game mystery worth $210. First number 105. 105.
So what would happen was, as time went on, it became evident when we got to a gambling town that Smitty might have a problem the next morning when he was on duty. And we all knew it. The staff knew it, the bowlers knew it, the proprietors knew it, everybody knew it, because after, having out there a while, we knew that if we were going to be at the Showboat or Atlantic City or Reno, there might be a morning issue. And I spent a lot of time with him. So I got every story from the 60s and 70s, or the 60s, excuse me, before I came on tour. I heard them all. In other words, for instance, in Caracas in 1968, they had a special PBA event in Venezuela where 16 stars bowled in Caracas. And there was a coup of their government, and there was a group of rebels that were planted outside of Caracas on the main road, and the bowlers were on it one morning going to bowl, and they stopped the 3 vans that had the bowlers in it and surrounded them with soldiers carrying machine guns. And they went to each van and they wanted to know who the people were in the van, and they demanded to see what was in the van. And when they opened the van up and opened the bowling bags up, they saw these black round objects that they thought were bombs. They seriously thought the bowling balls were bombs. And Harry Golden and Harry Smith had to explain to these people that they were pro bowlers and these people did not know English. And they're trying to tell them that the balls are balls and not bombs. And the way they did it was they actually took the ball out of the bag, and they got scared the machine guns were on them, and they swung the bowling balls with their hands in them to show them that the balls fit their hands. And they showed them and mimicked how they rolled them at pins. And none of them could speak English, and they let them go. Now, when I joined the tour in '69, that story was still very fresh in everybody's mind, and I heard it. I heard it at the age of 20, and I heard it for the next 20 years. I heard that story, told by Smitty in the bar, literally in every city, about the group of rebels that were going to kidnap the bowlers and their bowling balls, but let them go. And they had stories from another world. One of them was in Meridian, Mississippi. The city was quarantined during a riot in 1963, and the National Guard had come to Meridian and closed the town down. But the owner of the bowling center still wanted the pros, so they let the pros bowl, but no public could come in. So they put guards at each door, and they let the pros have their competition and get them the hell out of town. Well, Smitty's bowling on 31 and 2, and he throws a ball, and a bolt had come out of a pin setter, and the ball went in the air right before the pocket, hit the pocket, but the roundness of the ball didn't hit the bearing point of the pins the same way, and he left a 5-8-9 on a pocket hit. And the ball went like right into the right-hand gutter, but it touched the pocket enough, and he left a 5-8-9. And everybody went nuts and started laughing. It was a pocket 5-8-9. And he ran out the door of lane 32, ran around the front of the bowling center, come in the door of lanes 1 and 2, and told everybody to come down to 31 and 2 before he shot the spare, because he wanted the whole tour to see the 5-8-9. And he did. And they all stopped bowling and watched him shoot it. So when I got on tour, I heard of the 63 Meridian, Mississippi debacle, and of course, the pocket 5-8-9, which is unheard of. And he was a character, but my God, you talk about a great player. Won 10 PBA titles in his career, was second for Bowler of the Year 4 different times. He was runner-up for Bowler of the Year in his career. Was beat by Don Carter and Dick Weber and Billy Hardwick in those Bowler of the Year races. Twice by Hardwick, twice by Carter, once by Weber, and once by Hardwick. Of course, I'm probably, myself and Petraglia and Ernie and maybe Carmen are probably the last group. Dave Sutar from that era. George Pappas, of course. There are several around. Larry Lobb, Dale Eagle. There are, several guys that bowled the 60s still around. And we heard all those stories as young men. Of course, it's pretty much forgotten now. I was hoping that they could get all of us on a stage just once to tell the stories so people could tape them and document them, because all of us are leaving, and each year it's a few more. And last year was a tragedy with the loss of Ray Bluth, Glenn Allison, Jimmy Schroeder, Wayne Zahn, all are leaving us. They were wonderful, wonderful people and gifted bowlers. John Handegard, who was fantastic. His great senior career. I think of them often. They were like brothers to me. I will never forget them and never let their legacy go without mentioning them and what I saw them do. I had the honor and privilege to bowl Wayne Zahn and Ray Bluth. Never bowled against Jimmy Schroeder, but knew him very well. He was a fierce competitor and a charter member. And right now, Carmen Salvino is the last living charter member. I think Carmen is 94, 93 or 94. And I can't put into words what he has meant to all of us. Just beyond the wildest imagination. Greatest showman that ever lived on the lanes. And on 46, it looks like we've got a little action here. So let's go right down here and see if we can catch another 300 this evening here before the bowlers are done. Keep in mind, earlier tonight, Dan Gacera with 300. I don't know if he has a shot at 800, but he can go out here for 234. And we also have John on 9 in a row.
Throw a good shot and miss a nine man.
Keep in mind, tomorrow night we will be on the air at 6:45, and I believe we will stay with the YouTube channel and get the Facebook page up and running again for our live chat. So we want to thank all of you that did join us tonight. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we know exactly what we have to do, and we should be okay for tomorrow evening. Wayne's got to make a few adjustments, teach me how to get on both, and we'll be ready to roll. Tomorrow night, week 23 of the Audi League, or the Oaks Farms League. It's like John Smith coming up there. John Smith Jr. coming up now with 9 in a row. The young man been bowling very well this year. Father following in the footsteps of his dad. And this young man is a two-hander, and he's good. Very aggressive. I expect this shot to be in the pocket. I don't think he'll miss it. Let's see what he does. He didn't miss that one now, did he? All right. That was a great shot. Keep in mind with the two-handers, they burn up their own shot so much because of that rev rate that here's where he's got to be careful. Number one, he cannot decelerate. He cannot throw it slower right now. That's number one. He has to get through the ball, keep the speed up. And that was beautiful there. Now the young man will step up here for the second 300 tonight on this pair of lanes. Daniel Gacera in game 2, Smith in game 3. This shot is for perfection for the young man. Okay, here we go. That looks good. Hold it. Oh, solid 9. God, what a shot. Great shot for Smith, but obviously with all those revs, cutting the 5 straight back off the 9, probably a half a board farther left than what he wanted it to be at impact. So the young man with 299. Hey, how you doing, Malik? How'd you bowl that ball? Any good?
I used the purple ball tonight.
Yeah.
It works great.
You did good?
Yeah.
The one you drilled the other day?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
I used both of them tonight to see what.
Yeah, see the difference?
See the difference.
Yeah.
The purple ball worked great.
Good, I'm glad. Good for you.
I had 134 in the first game.
Yeah.
Second game I had 140, and then 115 in the third.
But you did good 2 out of 3.
I did, yeah.
And,
2 out of 3 I did good.
A couple of more breaks, you had a shot at 500. You're probably about 4 balls away from 500. Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Either go strike, open strike, if the middle one's not an open and it's a strike, that's 32 pins. 3 balls. 3 balls can be 100 pins. I kid you not. In between strikes, opens versus strikes. 3 balls, 100 pins. That's a lot of wood.
A lot of wood. Definitely.
Anyways, good to see you, Malik.
Likewise, man. It's always good to see you.
Okay. We have several new bowlers and an interesting story right here. This young man, Malik, going to Home Depot about 6 months ago, and I want to buy a toolbox. That's Malik with the headphones on right there. And I want to buy a toolbox. And this young man shows me these toolboxes. And then I said to them, well, I don't really need a perfect one if you got a damaged one, because it's going to go in a luggage compartment in my RV. And I showed him the ones that fit, and they were in excellent shape, and they were $300, and it was a little too much money. And I said to him, can you see if you got any factory defects or one that's been dented? And lo and behold, he goes in the back room, and they got, a couple that got banged up in freight, in delivery. And it's banged up on the sides. And mine, you don't see the sides. When it goes in the luggage compartment, all you see is the front. And the manager comes over, and I says, I want one of these damaged ones. And he says, well, we're going to return them. And I says, well, I'll save you the freight. What do you charge me? He says, how's 100? I says, you got a deal. And I became friends with Malik. And I told him what I did, and now he joined the league here. And he did say he bowled in his life. But he was so nice, he loaded it in my car for me, and we became friends. And now he bowls here on Tuesday night. Just bought a ball the other day in the pro shop from Ricky. So we made a friend that became a bowler, which is real nice. We like that.
Nice ball, Gary. See you next week. Oh yeah, just beating the pro part. I want to get more speed. Yeah. Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, see you guys Saturday. Yeah, so. All right, 12:30. I'll be there.
All right,
See you guys.
Yep. Lovely.
I went 636 tonight.
Not bad.
Yeah, I went
Very nice.
236, 193, 208. I
Very
made my
nice.
adjustment too late. I needed my second game. I should have moved just that one board to the right. Same
Yeah,
mark,
get in
and
the oil a
and I
little
didn't
bit.
do it.
That's all right.
And I didn't
You've
do
been
it.
bowling pretty good lately. He's had some
I
good
am.
scores.
I'm on it,
I love the
think,
way
so.
that ball reacts.
I
to
like
you.
that ball.
That ball's great.
I love that ball.
I love that ball.
That's on
You
New
can
Zero
get
Mercy.
way in the oil and just use the oil to push it. And if you do get it left, it does hook. It maintains
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
That's a nice
I
ball.
like it.
I love
I like
that
it a
ball.
lot.
I think that's the
I was
best ball.
watching
they've-
a lot of videos before I decided we should get it, and I'm
Yes.
like, you know what?
Yes.
And my husband said, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I'm like, "I want the new Zero Mercy." I said, "I
Well,
want the solid, not the pearl," and I like it so far.
well, it's
I
done.
might grab the pearl.
It's
too.
done very well for you. That ball rolls great for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see it too.
Think maybe I should have the pearl or no? Stay away.
I don't know. As crazy as it sounds, I'd have two of them with different layouts.
Okay. Two of the
Because,
solids.
well, yeah, because
Okay.
keep in mind, you could put one with a pin down that rolls a little sooner or a pin up that rolls a little longer,
Okay.
but you got such a good look with that one, which you know you like,
Right.
that if another one was two boards difference, but it had the same shape from a different spot,
Okay.
you might like it. And
Okay.
I know a lot of people that have said, you know, I got one, why not two? Even though they're the same ball, the layout difference could be enough, or you could have one a little shinier and one a little duller, and play with that.
Instead of going with
You
the
could
pearl.
have one that you always get 1,500 ready for league, and one that's got a little oil glaze on it. In other words, same layout, but the covers are entirely different.
Okay.
That might be enough.
Okay.
There's always
Instead of-
variables. The
Instead
key,
of going with the pearl.
well, I'm not going to say the pearl's wrong, but we know one thing: you like this one.
Right.
I always found in my life when I bowl good with a ball, I'd have two of them, different surfaces, and leave it alone because they would be different.
Okay.
Same layout, different surfaces.
Okay.
And they were different, a lot different.
Okay.
But I knew the characteristic of the ball and I liked it.
Right.
But everybody has their own
Yeah,
way
I'm really liking this
of percent. Well, if you like it, that's something to think about. See what Ricky says in Boog. See what they tell you
ball. Okay.
about the same ball with a different surface. You might love it.
Okay. That's something to think about.
It's something to think about.
Thanks, honey.
You're welcome, my dear. Nice bowling. A little tip from the Lich to try and help one of his dear friends, Cindy Snyder, who is a lefty, an avid bowler in her life. All right, so we're going to just keep the camera down the low end here. Looks like this end just has about 3 pairs left, so we'll stay on them. 5 pairs left, actually. Keep in mind there will be a King of the Hill tomorrow night also. A real good one last week with Brad Stewart coming away with the win. It was a very interesting show last week. I really thought, hey, nice bowling. You want to sit? Want to sit a minute? I'm going to bring Dan Gassera in the booth. I saw you won a 4-game sweeper on Sunday.
Yes.
And you beat the great John Janowitz.
Well, I qualified higher than him, so I won a little bit of more money in the starting. But,
Yeah.
our pair was a little top heavy.
And tonight you shot 300.
Correct.
So you think you're bowling good?
Then 2 weeks ago, I shot 803 with a 299.
So you got an 800, a 300, and a tournament win 150 miles from here.
Yeah, and then
Wow.
the same week that I shot 800, we bowled on Shark, I think, in Sarasota, and I shot 824 in qualifying. And
Is that a string
won.
house?
No,
Regular
It was
house.
AMF Golf Gate.
AMF Gulf Gate. So they didn't go strings yet there.
No, they have not.
That's interesting.
They're
Now-
still Bolero. Luckily, Bolero seems to not want to do all strings if they're bigger centers, because Coral's still not strings, and nor is
Yeah,
Golf
they
Gate,
have
so-
kept it traditional in some places, which is
which
good.
is very nice.
Which is nice because they don't have to.
Correct.
Now, what ball did you throw tonight?
So tonight, the first game, I had the front 8 with the Black Widow Dynasty. Left a 10 pin, 3-6-10, chopped it, struck out for 240. The second game, the Black Widow just didn't look like it was going through the pins. So I went out to the car, grabbed the Street Rally that I've been liking a lot.
What's the street rally? Which brand?
Columbia 300.
Columbia 300.
Very, very slept on. That ball has some of the most down lane action in a Brunswick ball that I've seen in a while.
Wow.
And I just randomly, the Black Widow Dynasty didn't look like it was going through the pins good, and I had a look. So
Yeah.
first ball of game 2, I went out to the car, grabbed it, and threw a 12-bagger with it.
And then what'd you throw the third game?
Then the third game, I went double, 10 pin, 479, and then
4 or 5 in a row. Good
Yeah.
for good finish. 780, 790.
780.
So you got 780, a couple 800s.
Yeah, I left a
and-
pocket 7-9 the last game in the middle of the miss 800.
And a tournament win. Now, where was the tournament at?
The tournament this weekend was in Maple Lanes, Clearwater.
Maple Lane's Clearwater, John Laspina's house. Great
Yeah.
proprietor there. One of the best in the world. Known him 55 years.
Yep.
He's a wonderful man.
Yep.
He brought that bowling center back. That's where Amleto has his pro
Correct.
shop
He has
there.
one of the two that he has down
One
there.
of his 2 stores. Oh yeah, he had the senior tour there a number of years. He's Johnny Petraglia's best friend, John Laspina.
It's a nice house.
Yeah, Laspina's big in the BBL. You know, they
Yep.
got like $2 million up in the bowling industry. They presented it on Fox. Him and Petraglia gave them a check,
Which is definitely good for the sport.
which is absolutely out of this world that they were able to raise that kind of money. Anyways, congratulations.
Thank
I wanted
you.
to get you in here. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate
Guys bowling
it.
this weekend. Keep it up.
Little hand change makes the ball go through the pins a little
Well,
better. I mean,
you know, you're due. You're due to get them.
every once in a while I strike.
You're bold enough in your life. You're allowed to win.
Thank you, Larry.
All right.
Have a good night. Drive safe.
You too. Dan Gacera, one of our local pro shop operators here in Fort Myers, RG Strike Line. Again, one thing we are blessed with here in the region is some really good pro shops. And even though I'm obviously best of friends with Ricky Ward, and RPM is a fantastic, fantastic store, I want to make sure that I mention Daniel and Steve Pavlenko and Wes McNeely and Adam. They all do a great job. They're all dedicated. And we know that not one pro shop's going to get all the business. It never happens. And these other gentlemen have paid their dues. They have great stores. They're great customer service people. So I want to congratulate them on their careers. We always like it when they come in here to join us, bowl in our leagues or our tournaments. And we want that. Want them to be part of the family here. Anyways, it looks like we're going to watch the last pairs finishing up, and we'll call it a day. Again, another great show with all of you. We're really happy to get on tonight. A little shaky at about 6:45, I'll tell you that. Well, Wayne did his magic. Right from his living room. That's the best part of all, is he can get in this thing and get it to go for us. So we want to thank him again. We will be on the air tomorrow night at 6:45. Mark Pulaski Jr. bowling tonight on 13 and 14, shooting 240 in game 3. He's definitely due to start bowling good again. And look at Marquilla down there on 17 and 18, and she throws the ball very well. I want to congratulate Marquilla. She works for the Cape Coral Police Department, was given a service award for her dedication to the city of Cape Coral and the police department. She is not a police officer. She is a civilian, but she has a job in there, and she's loved by all the people, not only here, but I'm sure at work. She is an angel, a wonderful, beautiful lady, and an avid bowler. And still a heck of a game in the 250s. .260s for Marquilla. 265. Excellent, excellent way to finish. Now, if her mother strikes out, her mother shoots 165. And Marquilla would have to brag that I just beat my mother by 100 pins, and I'm sure she doesn't want to do that. She would have preferred to beat her by 5 or 10 pins. What's that?
Anything worthwhile?
Worthwhile?
Yeah.
You know, Danny Gacera had 300, who bowled very good tonight. Oh, yes, he did. He threw the ball well. And John Smith Jr. had a 299 with a stoned 9-pin. So he threw the ball very well. Cindy told me she bowled good tonight, right?
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Glad to hear that. How'd you bowl?
747
747
with a 290.
with a 290. Were you, in other words, flying high? A 747?
That's what I was.
You were flying high.
I was in the Mile High Club for a moment.
You were in the Mile High Club. 747, not too bad.
Yeah.
The last time I had 747, George Bush II was president, and I didn't have a job. That was before I opened my pro shops up in Cape Coral. That's a long time
That was
ago.
a little while ago.
Oh, yes it is. All right, it looks like we're just about done, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to watch these last few shots. Again, I want to thank you all so much for being with us this evening. We'll be on the air tomorrow night at 6:45. I'm sure we will get everything ready for Facebook, and I'm sure we're going to stay on YouTube. Wayne has been asking me to do it, and we're going to. So I'll have a better idea how to set everything up tomorrow night. It was kind of quick tonight with Wayne doing it from his living room. I mean, he got up and going, got me up and going, so I got to learn how to get all the data in. But I'm sure I can do it. He'll be here tomorrow night to help me, so it shouldn't be too tough to do. Again, on behalf of Robert Eddy and all of us here at Lightning, we want to thank you for joining us. We hope it's warming up no matter where you live. We're ready for some sun and some heat. So we're going to close it down now again. On behalf of Robert and all of us here at Lightning, I want to thank you again, and we will see you tomorrow evening. And there it is. Okay, little computer freeze. Again, thanks again so much for being with us. Sorry for the late start. We should be okay by tomorrow evening. Again, thank you all. Good luck and good bowling. Eddie the Dude, what are you doing there, dude?